Alright guys, we're into another death battle today. I'm gonna quickly turn off my fan so there's no audio interference. And this one is Doctor Strange versus Dr. Fate, and I kind of hope that there's no ads that pop in the middle videos aside from the sponsored bit that I have auto skip on, because I do not like ads and I'm supposed to be doing one job. You get what the ads are selling.
The art of magic is a perplexing thing. Only those with the right knowledge, talent, and willpower can truly claim to be the most powerful wizards of all.
Like Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme of Marvel Comics.
And Dr. Fate, DC's defender of cosmic order.
He's weighs an iron boomstick.
I'm on Doctor
It's our
Strange's
job to
side for
analyze
this
their
one.
weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Dr. Stephen Strange wasn't just any brilliant neurosurgeon, he was the very best.
Too bad he was also a prick who cared more about the money he made than the patients he worked on.
Sensational patients bring recognition. Recognition brings money, and money keeps Wellhaven stores open.
Can't blame him though. When your entire family kicks the bucket one by one like Stevens did, it's kinda hard to get attached to anybody else. Also, money's just great.
Strange's talent at the operating
He's a
table earned him
veterinarian.
celebrations worldwide. His work became more expensive, and his bank account rose into the millions.
And then...
Car accident.
Don't text and drive, kids.
Yep.
Strange survived, but his
That's
hands
it.
got terrible nerve damage, making them useless for complex tasks like, oh, I don't know, surgery. Pretty inconvenient.
To find a cure, Strange spent his entire fortune and traveled the globe until he found the Ancient One. He had heard of this man's befuddling mystic healing powers, and at this point, he was up for trying anything.
But the old dude refused to cure him. Instead, he offered to teach Strange how to use magic himself and become a superhero. Who needs
yeah.
hands when you have magic?
Through his training, Strange discovered many secrets of the universe, along with plenty of handy spells. He has learned so many charms, jinxes, enchantments, conjurations, hexes, and incantations that it would be impossible to list them all now, but he certainly has his favorites.
Like the nearly unbreakable bands of Sidorak. Unless you're super strong like the Hulk or Thanos, no way you're snapping these chains.
He can surround foes in everlasting fire with the flames of Baltine, launch energy shots called bolts of Balthak,
You hear say Ballsack?
knock out foes with the mists of Morpheus, and shield himself using the 7 rings of Ragador.
Who the hell came up with these spell names?
Yeah.
We're having a plain old abracadabra. Everybody loves that one.
Other techniques of his include illusion, hypnotism, protective force fields, telekinesis, immortality, time manipulation, power stealing, teleportation, dimensional travel, transmutation, spell nullification.
And he can turn himself into a ghost.
That's astral projection.
Ooh.
That's his astral form,
Yeah.
a projection of Strange's soul separate from his body, which defies the laws of physics.
Look, Wiz, he can go through walls and fly around. That's a ghost.
To invoke these spells, Strange audibly
Oh,
calls upon the powers
Jason.
of the Vishanti, 3 godly beings of enormous power.
Oh, that one's a kitty.
We summon forth the shielding powers of the Vishanti. Impressive. The puts Mysterio's hocus pocus to shame.
Anyway, after many years of study, Strange's mentor was slain by a creepy hentai monster, and Strange was granted the title of Sorcerer Supreme, which is like a normal sorcerer with all the toppings.
As Sorcerer Supreme, Strange was deemed the most powerful magic user and defender of the world. To better perform his duties, he carries numerous magical artifacts which assist him in battle.
That's
The
sentient
cloak of
cloak.
levitation lets him fly without magic and has a mind of its own, like Aladdin's magic carpet, but way more stylish. The wand of Watum amplifies his powers, and the axe of Angaroru, whatever, through mystical beings. Fun fact, Strange found that axe in my ex-wife's old witch cave. I mean apartment.
But most versatile of all is the Eye of Agamotto. With this amulet, Strange can perceive any truth, absorb massive amounts of energy, enhance his psychic powers, and fire a light that can weaken and obliterate magical entities.
If you haven't noticed, Doctor Strange is super powerful. With all this magical mumbo Jumbo, he's taken on some of the biggest threats in the universe.
No. I've come to bargain.
And if he ever
Yeah,
gets
I honestly
stuck,
like the
he basically
MCU
just rewrites
is,
the rules of
MCU's
reality,
Doctor
which is
Strange.
probably what happens when you divide by 0.
That's not even possible.
Exactly! It's Magic Whiz! Anything can happen!
Strange's astral form has traveled across the planet in, quote, precious seconds, putting him at several million miles per hour.
Even better, when Adam Warlock once used an Infinity Gem to banish Strange to the far reaches of the universe, Strange just cast a spell that zoomed him all the way back. So yeah,
Whoa.
F you, Adam.
Given what we see here, Doctor Strange was most likely sent to a void, or a large empty area between galaxies. The void where our galaxy resides is about 2 billion light years in diameter, with the Milky Way set relatively close to the center. Based on Strange's conversation here, we can assume a generously short time frame of 5 seconds. So, Strange must have moved over 4.2 septillion miles per hour. That's 6 quadrillion times the speed of light.
Yeah, a lot.
Oh, how about that time he ripped the soul out of his arch nemesis and sent him back in time? Or when he restored his cloak of levitation from mere scraps? Or when he beat up
Whoa.
Galactus and totally scrambled his brain?
What?
With his immense magical prowess, Strange has survived blasts from Voltor, a robot with the power to move stars, and
shit.
even withstood a supernova. At
Oh.
minimum, an exploding star outputs over
I think
350
it's from Future Planet.
septillion
That's from Future
gigabytes
Planet.
of TNT. That's 6 octillion times greater than the Tsar Bomba, the most powerful nuclear weapon ever made.
Not impressed yet? Well, Strange can manipulate and detonate stars himself. That's right, this guy uses supernovas as weapons.
Strange is exceptionally clever, and while his physique is not superhuman, it's worth noting that he is a talented athlete and martial artist. This is important as the use of magic can wear down the magician's body if it is unfit. His immortality is also proved incredibly useful.
I'll say, he's looking pretty good for a guy born in the 1930s.
More than that, at one point Strange was recruited by the Vishanti to fight in a magical war, which lasted 5,000 years.
Damn.
Holy shit! I hope he got some really good veterans benefits after that.
Yeah.
But for real, this guy has the power to protect the universe and reshape it however he wants. I know which doctor I'm calling the next time I'm sick.
I'm Doctor Strange.
Sorcerer Supreme.
Tell me, Boomstick, do you believe in fate?
I got little scratches here. And
I only believe in one thing, Wiz. 18-year, 100-proof whiskey.
Well, after accompanying his father on an archaeological expedition in Mesopotamia, 12-year-old Kent Nelson certainly did.
Instead of digging up boring old artifacts like tools or pottery, Kent uncovered a 10-billion-year-old god. Too bad waking
Yeah,
him
that's
up
cool,
also
too.
gassed Kent's dad to death.
This slumbering god was Nabu, a lord of order born from the very beginning of the universe. While
Yeah, that's
Nabu
pretty
normally
powerful.
cares little about the universally inconsequential concerns of individual humans, this time was different. Nabu took the newly orphaned Kent under his wing and taught him the ways of magic.
Oh, sweet! I'd take a god dad over an ordinary one any day. But really, I'd just take any dad.
Though Nabu wasn't too keen on the actual parenting part of the deal, so he just magicked Kent into a
Oh.
full-grown adult over the course of a week.
Does that mean he got hit with all those years of awkward puberty all at once?
holy shit.
My god, talk about a mood swing.
To master the mystic arts, Nabu granted Kent 3 ancient relics. First and foremost, Kent donned the golden helmet of fate.
Well, Kent woke up the physical body. Nabu's soul is actually inside this helmet. So when Kent put it on, his spirit merged with Nabu's and they became Dr. Fate.
I am an agent of order.
Wait, he's 12. Technically, he can't be a doctor yet, right?
Well, in time, he became a trained physician and achieved a PhD in archaeology.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's also got the Cloak of Destiny, which gave him flight, super strength, and superhuman durability.
Lastly,
But
he
it's
received the
sentiment.
Amulet of Anubis, a talisman which increases Fate's powers, counters opposing magic, and can launch an intense beam of magical firepower. It also houses its own pocket dimension, where the souls of past Dr. Fates reside.
Oh
Whoa.
yeah, lots of people have worn that shiny helmet, and not all of them were doctors. Even Kent's wife Inza got in on the magic action. But Kent is, like, the main one, so we're sticking with him.
As
Yep.
Dr. Fate, Kent became the immortal champion of the supernatural Lords of Order in their fight against the vile Lords of Chaos.
And he learned tons of wacky wizard skills he can use with just a thought. Perfect for putting chaos gods in their place.
Fate can use
yeah.
telekinesis, cast illusions, erect force fields, hypnotize foes, read minds, teleport vast distances, create an astral projection of himself, travel through time and dimensions, and even manipulate matter at a molecular level.
Let's face it, Wiz, he's so powerful he can basically do whatever the hell he wants. Like that time he did a Freaky Friday body swap with Blue Beetle, like it was
What's
nothing.
Blue Beetle?
He can even conjure up Superman's Kryptonian powers for himself. That's right.
Cool.
This guy can just decide to be Superman for a day.
With his mighty magic, Fate has turned buildings into dust, thrown a planet into a sun, and physically held back the destruction of the universe.
The helmet! Just the helmet! Once Booger spins so fast, it reached the
Even
velocity of
Special
God
blend.
and bounced off the edge of the universe! What the hell does that even mean?
Fate has regenerated his body from a single thought, withstood hits from the likes of Superman and Ultraman, and somehow survived in a dimension of reality where literally nothing exists.
Who the hell's writing this crap?
And why are they
Also,
smoking?
when DC decided to reboot their entire comic line, Fate was one of the only characters to survive the crisis that literally collapsed the multiverse.
But he does have one big weakness. The helmet is Nabu, and Nabu is the source of
Oh.
Fate's powers. So if you remove the helmet, he loses his magic.
For the most part, Kent does possess some magical ability of his own, like telekinesis and super strength, but he's not even remotely close to the potential of Dr. Fate, and even further from the true Fate. When the souls of a man, a woman, and a god come together, in this case Kent, Inza, and Nabu, they create Dr. Fate's ultimate state of being, an entity with enough power to rip the universe apart and effortlessly overpower other Lords of Order and Chaos.
Sadly, like all Menage a Trois scenarios, keeping this going for too long could destroy all three of them.
Oh.
So Fate doesn't go final form unless he absolutely has to.
Still, the people of the cosmos can sleep easy knowing Fate is on their side.
Your fate is utterly binding.
Who are you?
Well, let me show you, my friend.
What show is that?
All right, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
But first, I'll teach you how to be a wizard.
Stephen Strange. It has come to my attention that there are two sorcerer supremes in this existence.
Oh, no. No, you can work together.
Needs a lesson in manners.
Okay. Come on, Steven, get some looks in.
Pitiful.
Taste the flames of the 14!
Yeah.
How's that for embarrassment?
Fool.
Uh-oh.
Merely a doctor. I am a god.
Oh, those are obelisks. Okay. Just want a whole circle back to punch him. Oh! You're fighting in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles reality somehow. Oh my god, they're into Star Wars now. They're punching. They're fighting different realities. We're on the back of something. Oh, a giant fish dragon thing.
Your power now.
Yes! Oh!
So the god is just a man in disguise. Let's see how you fare with that.
Oh!
Shut up! Usher, grab me the crimson bag. The cigarette.
Looks like Vegeta.
Fred once told me the helmet doesn't make the man.
Oh!
But I will use it. Witness your true fate.
Uh-oh. Oh, Doctor Strange's book.
I can't stop you here. Maybe in there.
Oh boy. I have no idea if this will fucking work or not.
By the hoary hosts of Hoggoth. Where am I?
Doctor Strange. Welcome to our home.
Oh boy. There should be a third guy. There he is. Oh! Oh, he is like dissolving. Yeah, he did. Now the G1 Transformers treatment.
So, don't doctors take an oath to never take a life or whatever?
Analyzing this matchup was bizarre. You might even say it was strange?
Say the puns, Wiz, that's my job. But yeah,
Stretches are back.
both these Doctor Wizards were so stupidly powerful, trying to find their limit was like looking for a needle in a haystack. But nobody remembered to put the needle there in the first place.
With their maximum potential seemingly unmeasurable, it's easy to make an argument for either one to win. If given the chance, Strange could have certainly, say, stolen Fate's powers, or maybe even just willed him out of existence.
Yeah.
I bet plenty of Strange fans are letting us know how in the comments below.
And that's fine, but Death Battle looks at the larger picture to find the most likely outcome of them all, and Fate simply held the advantage on a grander scale.
Strange may have fought a 5,000-year war, but Nabu's been around since the beginning of the universe. Over 10 billion years. He definitely had way more experience.
Fate also had the advantage of casting the majority of his spells non-verbally, while many of Strange's required specific hand movements and incantations. Still, it was only a matter of time until the Eye of Agamotto informed Strange of Fate's one weakness.
Depowering him wasn't as easy as you'd think. He had his own magic, and his superhuman strength was something Strange didn't have at all. Basically, anything Strange could do, Fate could do too, but even more.
Remember how Strange cast a spell which moved him 6 quadrillion times the speed of light?
Yep. Now remember how Fate's helmet flew from Earth to the edge of the universe and back?
It took about 1 year to make this trip. Given the estimated scope of the observable and unknown universe, a trip of this magnitude would require the helmet to fly nearly 28 decillion times the speed of light. That's over 4 quintillion times faster than Strange.
Yeah,
look at it this way. Strange was a man borrowing the powers of a god, while Fate's a god borrowing a man. Plus, that power boost with cleanse a soul from the amulet put Fate on a level above the gods in his universe. Something Strange can't really do himself.
Both Doctor Strange and Dr. Fate possessed incomprehensibly impressive magic, but Fate held more experience, greater physical abilities, and a wider range of talents.
Which left Steven stuck with a strange twist of fate.
The winner is Dr. Fate.
Yeah, I can't exactly argue with that.
Thanks for watching, guys. If you want to...
I will see you guys in the next one. Later.